Hey guys, welcome to the woods. Well, I brought you some riparian entertainment and some snow and, just nature. And just, there's something magical. It was told to me by Edgar Cayce when I was 18 years old, almost 40 years ago. That being out in nature and looking up at big trees and something far away and all this sort of, tactile stuff that this nature affords is magical stuff. And I never really was an outdoors guy. I didn't live in the woods, and I get where it's a little bit intimidating, the woods. But once you get walking in the woods a few times, you're just like, this is probably the safest place on the planet. Because people who have a funky fear vibration are the ones who are dangerous. And then you've got those people who are funky and could be dangerous are also fearful of the woods. It's just like, criminals don't really usually like to deal with dogs because they're kind of scared people. So anyway, I don't know why I went down that tangent necessarily, other than to say that, nature is a special tool for dialing yourself into that love vibration, and it's the safest place you could ever walk. And a lot of people do know that, I see a lot of, a lot of people, if they're walking by themselves, are walking with their dog, which is a great idea. But I really think the alone time is key. You've got to get time alone and appreciating these trees and nature. And at first it feels funky, it feels artificial, but you want to get to that point where while you're out in nature, feeling the perfection of everything around you, conscious of your breath, keeping that, what was it somebody gave me the count on it, but and I counted myself, and I'm like, when I'm in the meditative breath, it's like 5 to 7 breaths, I think, a second. You'll see if that's right. A minute, obviously not a second. But anyway, so, you've just got all the external stuff, all the meditation techniques dialed in, and you're appreciating nature, and you're outdoors, and you're exposed to whatever the day brings. It helps you focus right there on your acceptance of what is, right? Acceptance of what is in nature. What's the weather? What's going on? But I had a beautiful day a few days ago when it snowed, and it just wasn't, I got to be in the right mindset for a video, and but anyway, it was a beautiful backdrop, and I had just had a magnificent day. I've had a bunch of magnificent days lately, but I've also had really kind of like days that are tough to pull yourself up out of, which actually today really is. But which is why I'm wanting to get this video over, because my hands are really getting cold. I've been outside for a while, but you're walking, it's just, I can just keep on walking and feeling the perfection of everything around me, and knowing that there's nothing we need to actually do here. The planet's got everything all in place. It's all working according to the vibrational, the station is being changed. Station of what television show we're watching called Life on Planet Earth in 2020. We're changing the dial, and we're going to go towards a more accepting, loving, much more peaceful, harmonious human on the planet. That's not really said the best way it possibly could be, but you get what I mean. I'm always preaching that same point. I think this is important I think I said in my last video too, leaning towards the side of everything is perfect is so critical. But you also have to realize, or a test on that really maybe would be, whether you feel like the whole planet, is life, humans on the planet, is it going towards the blissful side? Is it going better? No matter what I do personally, is it getting better and better all the time for humans on the planet, and our harmony with the planet, and our resonance with our ethers and our higher self? And isn't the plan all working out perfectly? We don't want it to all change and be, heaven on earth in an instant. You want to be part of it, and you want to watch it happen, and you want to see it transform. 10% increase on your happiness vibration, you're good. Sit with that for a while. You don't really need to go trying to accomplish something or get to some... I've definitely played with meditative days where you realize you could go further. Let's just say that. And you know that you sort of feel what that would do to your relations to rest of you, to your family, your people, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, but I think we're going to just call that a wrap. I think we're going to make it a short one today because it's cold, and that's my message, that you can't always have a great message. You just kind of got to let days happen as days happen and be okay with what is, and love on yourself. And if you can get yourself into nature, great. If you can't, just lean towards whatever's the easiest. That's why I'm always hesitant to say how you want to find that sense of everything's going right for you. Because everybody going to have their own triggers, their own things. Here's a cute one. I always had as one of my vision things was myself laying on the grass as a child, looking at the clouds. And I grew up in Cleveland, and clouds were beautiful in Cleveland, and they're always puffy, floating things going across the sky. And I remember that, but I don't really remember doing it necessarily, because I'm talking about when you're like 3 years old and stuff, 2 years old. But my sister, we used to watch us a lot, and she said she was the oldest 7 kids, so I was always in charge to go around and make sure where everybody was. And I always could look out on the front lawn, and you'd be laying on the grass. And I was like, oh, I didn't really know that was a thing. I just thought that's how I felt about, that was I have nothing to stress in my life. Nothing but dreams, and everything's perfect at that age. And we get sort of distorted in we got to do, and be, and prove ourselves to each other, and fix what we see in front of us, and all that false narrative that takes effort to get past. You gotta reprogram yourself. It's like we've forgotten who we really are. So the point would be that we would now want to remember. So you got to stay focused on it. Stay focused on it. You need reminders. You need not like maybe a sticky on your refrigerator, but just more things to kind of remind you. Be conscious of your breath. How are you doing in your sense of everything's perfect? And a myriad of other things that we've touched on before. Can't have a short video if I go through them all again. All right. So I just want to say I love you guys, and come on out to the woods. Every time of year is a beautiful time of year, and I love you. And don't forget to throw love bombs on other people once you've thrown them on yourself first. All right, see you guys.